Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have kind of a trick for you all. I know hand care often gets overlooked and not talked about a whole lot here on YouTube, but as a powerlifter who does a lot of deadlifting and a lot of work with their hands, it's inevitable that they're going to get torn up a bit. And I have the very start of a torn callus, or at least a skin tear on my hand. So I'm going to take you through the steps that I use using super glue and a nail file here to go through and hopefully prevent this from progressing any further. That way I can keep deadlift training and perform my best come meet day here in about 7 weeks. Okay, so here I am with super glue and my nail file. These are the two things that you're going to need in order to repair your hands and sort of take care of them. The brand of super glue does not matter. I prefer the Loctite brand of super glue. I've also used the Dollar General brand, right? Any traditional brand of super glue should do it. Now, if you take a look right here, this is where the skin on my hand is starting to give out. I have a bit of a crack. So this isn't as much of a callus tear as it is just a tear in my skin, but you're going to approach it the same way if you have a callus issue. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to make an artificial callus out of this super glue. So you can tell I'm keeping my hand open all the way, and I really get a nice coating of the super glue both in and on top of the skin. And before any of you let me know down below that, hey, it's probably toxic. Maybe it is. I've never had any issues myself. And, you know, I guess maybe this is just a chance I take. And I make sure it's really nicely coated. And now we have to wait about 5 to 10 minutes and be diligent to keep your hand in that open position, because if it dries with your hand closed and then you open your hand up, it's going to break that bond. Okay, so I just flashed forward. Basically, I sat in front of a fan for about 5 minutes to allow that super glue to dry. Now it's time that we use our file, and you're going to file it down to be as flush as you can with your skin. So, and the whole reasoning behind that is if you have something sticking up on your hand, it's more likely to catch the bar and then tear your hand even more, or tear it open again. So we just want enough of that super glue to fill in the crack, and then we're going to file it down to be flush with the rest of our hand. I do take some time here and file the rest of my calluses. I will make a separate video just on like general callus maintenance and taking care of your hands, but it's a good rule of thumb to file your calluses down occasionally as well, because essentially you want enough of a covering that they protect your hand. But if those calluses get too big, then they're going to get caught up on the bar, and that's where the major tears happen. And whenever you have a major callus tear, that can set you back in training. You may be out of deadlifting for a couple weeks, or at least having to use straps in deadlifts or whatever movements in which you're going to be using your hands. So to prevent that, I like to keep those calluses filed down nicely on a regular basis. So that's kind of all I'm doing here. I'm just trying to smooth out my hand. You'll notice I'm looking at it sideways. Look for any ridges that might get caught up under the bar, and use that nail file to keep them down. Okay, so as I'm kind of closing out, I just want to share my experiences. I've done this for years. I have made videos, maybe you all saw it, where I've adjusted how I hold the bar in deadlifts, and that's really saved me from major callus tears. This kind of cracking situation is more of what I get nowadays, and I use the super glue to fix that, and it works pretty well. It just heals and then the super glue comes off. But you can use this for much bigger callus tears as well. Okay, so hopefully that helped you all out. Let me know in the comments down below if you have trouble with your hands tearing, if you have any other ideas as far as how to take care of your hands or fix a torn callus. And leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, happy lifting.